Hello everybody, welcome to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. I'm your host Rusty Peace, and we'll start by apologizing. Last week we were not able to join you for the Railsplitter Athletics Report. It's the first time we've not had a show during the school year in quite some time, but we're back and in effect here today, and we've got Josh Schertz, head coach of the Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball team, and he'll be our guest later on this evening on the show. Incidentally, they'll be opening the 2015-16 schedule this weekend when they head over to Bristol, Tennessee. They'll take on King University in the opening round game on Friday evening at 7:30. Then on Saturday, they'll square off against the Bobcats from Lees-McRae, and that's going to be through our sister station, WLMU 91.3 FM, beginning with pregame coverage Friday night at 7:10 on the LMU Sports Network. Then Saturday's matchup gets underway with pregame coverage at 11:40, I think. 11:40 for that broadcast. So a lot of basketball going on this weekend. We'll tell you all about it when we return right after this.
It's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrigan and Middlesboro has your fresh interest at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwiches or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner you're after, choose from a wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches that are all made specifically to order. Serving a crowd, Subway also has sandwich planners, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Be it dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. 368 Catawba Avenue in Harrigan and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro. You love your car or truck? Let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the first of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro. Whether institutional case good or architectural woodwork, Nolan Products Incorporated of Knoxville has been serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky since 1958. From concept to finish, Nolan Products custom builds to the highest quality standards to meet your facility specifications while using only the finest materials available. Nolan Products has been serving and meeting the needs and requirements of general contractors and architects in East Tennessee and surrounding area for more than 55 years. Nolan Products Incorporated, 912 Forsyth Street Northeast, Knoxville.
Friday afternoon, the Lincoln Memorial University men's soccer team's run at the 2015 South Atlantic Conference Tournament title came to an end in Rock Hill, South Carolina, when the number 3 seed Railsplitters tied 0-0 with the number 2 seed Bulldogs of Wingate University after 2 overtime periods, and then defeated the Bulldogs, or were defeated by the Bulldogs 3-1 in a PK shootout, which earned the Bulldogs a spot in Sunday's finals. Having experienced overtime and a PK shootout in Tuesday's quarterfinal round of the tournament against Tusculum, where they emerged victorious, the Railsplitters entered Friday's shootout with a great deal of confidence, but this time the victory wasn't to be had, as Bulldog keeper Pablo Jara made 2 key saves on the Railsplitters' second and third penalty kicks, and then Lincoln Memorial missed their 4th shot, which meant there was no chance of getting back into the match for a tie. Having not qualified for the NCAA regional tournament this year, earlier Helio Dana and the LMU men's soccer team brought the end to the season at 10-3-3 overall, while finishing the year with their 3rd best record in the South Atlantic Conference after falling to Bulldogs, who moved on to the SAC final Sunday and defeated Queens University 2-0 to take the 2015 conference tournament title. That one was tough to get through, both to watch and to read for that matter. While the Railsplitters were battling the Bulldogs in Rock Hill, LMU head volleyball coach Jenny Michael and her Lady Railsplitters were down in Anderson, South Carolina, taking on the Trojans in a key late season conference match that went down to the wire. LMU came out firing on all 8 cylinders with a 25-19 win in the opening set, but Anderson rallied in the second set with an overwhelming 25-14 decision before Lincoln Memorial again took the upper hand in the third with a beatdown of their own and had a 26-16 victory. 25-16 is what the score should have been. The Trojans kept it close, however, as again they battled back in the fourth set with a 25-16 win. But in the end, it was the Lady Railsplitters who would capture victory with a 15-9 margin in the final verse to improve to 13-12 overall and 10-9 in league play. On Saturday, the LMU women ventured further into the Palmetto State when they veered off I-26 to take on the Wolves of Newberry College. The last time Lincoln Memorial and Newberry met in Harrogate on October 3rd, the LMU women came away with a 3-1 victory and a loss. The loss may have been what fueled the Wolves on Saturday. Although all the sets went down to the wire, Newberry blanked Lincoln Memorial 3-0, taking the match in straight sets 25-23, 25-21, and 27-15 to split the home and away series and to drop the ladies back to the 500 mark at 13-13 on the year, 10-10 in the South Atlantic Conference. Tuesday evening, the LMU women returned to the Mary E. Mars Gymnasium to take on Tusculum College in their final home match of 2015. And on senior night for the Lady Railsplitters, LMU fans were saying goodbye to seniors Jazzy Oates, Allison McKinnon, and Casey Metzi, and playing in their final home match of their career, and that may have been what sparked Jazzy Oates' performance Tuesday night. LMU came out of the gates at a dead sprint, rolling over Michael Robinson's Pioneers in the opening set 25-13 and that was behind the offense and defensive effort of Jazzy Oates. In sets 2 and 3, however, LMU stumbled and the Pioneers took charge of the match, capturing 25-22 and 25-15 wins to take a 2-1 lead. That's when Oates kicked things into overdrive again. Playing with their backs to the wall, the Lady Railsplitters came from behind to capture a 25-21 win in the fourth set and then shut the front door on the Pioneers with a 15-7 thrashing. Oates' performance of 13 kills and 6 blocks led LMU en route to the win, and after the match, we talked with head coach Jenny Michael about the victory.
You know, it's not really a secret. I think a lot of teams would say this, but particularly for our team, our ignition, our igniter is our defense. And there's 2 lines. There's a first line of defense at the net with a block, second line of defense with a great dig. And we were just, you know, we were really flat. You know, that second set, one of the things we've talked about before is how many points we earn versus how many points we give, and we gave them way too many points in that second set. Now, conversely, in the third set, man, credit to Tusculum, they came out and earned it. I mean, they had like 19 kills. They had over 500. I mean, they played and they earned it. I was really proud to see our team, though, dig in and fight. You know, we very easily could have rolled over and said, oh, well, they're playing well. They've got energy. They've got momentum. You know, let's pack it in. And we didn't. We fought for our seniors. We fought for our season. And it was just awesome, you know. So winning that fourth set, we knew winning that fourth set, we were going to have a really good chance in the fifth set. And again, you know, I'm looking, and man, we had 5 blocks in the fifth set. Like, that's just, I mean, you can feel it. I know you guys can hear it over here. You can feel it when the crowd's getting excited because they see that too. You know, sure, you know, everybody's talking about offense, but the crowd for sport of volleyball, I feel like they really respect defense as well, especially a big block, man.
The Lady Railsplitters now have only tomorrow evening's road match against the Lions of Mars Hill University standing between them and this year's South Atlantic Conference tournament, providing LMU is able to take care of business against the Lions, and depending on how Catawba College and Queens University fare Friday and Saturday in their matches, Lincoln Memorial could potentially capture the number 4 seed in the upcoming SAC tournament or finish as far back as the number 6 position. Friday evening's regular season finale gets underway at 7 p.m. on the Mars Hill University campus. And Saturday morning, the Lincoln Memorial University cross-country teams were in Wingate, North Carolina, participating in the 2015 NCAA Southeast Regional Meet hosted by Wingate University. The race consisted of 27 teams and 182 individual runners on the women's side and 22 teams and 160 racers on the men's. All of the participants faced adverse conditions on the course that was drenched by extreme muddy conditions following several days of heavy rain. The Lady Railsplitters finished in 15th place with a 415-point total and an average 6K time of 26:13.7. Defending Southeast Region champions Montevallo put 5 runners in the top 10 to repeat as regional champs again and punched a ticket to the NCAA National Championship meet, which is being hosted in Joplin, Missouri, November 21st. South Atlantic Conference programs Wingate and Queens finished in 2nd and 3rd respectively to also lock up bids to that event. The Railsplitters accumulated 396 points to finish in 14th place with an average 10K time of 36:58.5. Mount Olive landed 3 runners in the top 10 to capture the region title, while both Mars Hill and Queens locked up bids to the national championship meet with 2nd and 3rd place respectively. Head coach Jeremy Donahue talked about the weekend.
Looking at the women, first it was a real sloppy meet, muddy, rained all week over at Wingate, so it made for an interesting race and a little bit more difficult than maybe originally planned. And our women put themselves behind the 8 ball early, not getting out quick enough, and so we were stuck behind, and with it being muddy, it was hard to make up those spots. Just tough to get around, and you're just wasting energy trying to get around groups, and so we were trying to play catch up the whole time, and ultimately just dug ourselves too big a hole to get after a top 10 finish, which was the goal. And Whitney Elliott, all region performance was great. I know she was gunning and just missed, came out 16 seconds short of missing the qualifying spot to nationals, and we were really hoping she'd get that in there. But overall, a great season for her. And then when you move on to the guys' side of things, I think they ran a little bit better. They got out more aggressive, learned from the women's race that they needed to put themselves in a good position early, and they did that. Just didn't quite, some of these young guys didn't quite have the strength to finish off the 10K distance, and so finished a few spots again out of where we wanted to finish. So overall, we had some positive results this weekend, but learned a lot with this young group going into next season, as far as when you come to championship season and qualifying races for nationals, that you got to be on your game and be on top of it from the gun, that it's hard to make up spots. And so that's what we'll look to take out of this as we head into the off season now and then roll in the track.
Both Lincoln Memorial University cross-country teams have now completed their 2015 seasons, while several athletes from each squad will compete in the spring with the university's track and field programs in various events. Congratulations to both teams on a tremendous season. Well, it's hard to believe, but this Friday and Saturday, the 2015-16 basketball season gets underway for both Lincoln Memorial University coaches. Crystal Evans and her Lady Railsplitters will travel this weekend to Greenwood, South Carolina for the SAC Peach Belt Conference Challenge hosted by Lander University. And while the Lady Railsplitters have a lot of returning faces in the lineup, there are a lot of new faces that fans will be seeing as well this year.
I feel like we've been clicking during practice, and obviously I told you we had a better second scrimmage, so I do think that we were moving in the right direction. It's just, again, like I said, we're like on a roller coaster ride. I mean, we'll come into practice and it'll be an amazing practice, and I feel like we've moved a step further, and then we'll have practice and it's a total letdown, and I feel like not only do we not progress, we've in essence have regressed, and so that makes a coach uneasy when you don't know what team is going to show up.
Last season, the Lady Railsplitters finished the year with a 14-15 overall record while going 11-11 in the South Atlantic Conference. Possibly the biggest concern about this weekend's games is the fact that both matchups are going to be away from the home floor, as Coach Evans explains.
The season very well last year on the road. Obviously, majority of our wins were here at home. And again, as we've discussed before, I just feel like that's a lack of focus and also a lack of leadership on our team. We tend to be very undisciplined on the road. And with playing Lander as our first game, it's a team that's very quick and athletic, and they want to force you into a lot of turnovers. So, having discipline is going to be crucial in that game. So yes, I mean, I am a little bit uneasy about that, but I'm hoping, I'm trusting and believing that my team's going to, come out and perform the way that they know that they can and are capable of doing so.
Now, while this weekend's games won't be broadcast through the LMU Sports Network, LMU fans can keep up with the action by logging on to the LMU Athletics webpage at www.lmurailsplitters.com and then clicking on the women's basketball schedule, then clicking on the schedule link, and that will access the live statistics. So best of luck to Coach Evans and her Lady Railsplitters this weekend when they travel down to Greenwood, South Carolina. All right, we're going to take a brief timeout. When we come back, we're going to talk men's basketball. We've not had him on this year, but LMU head coach Josh Schertz is in studio, and he'll talk about the Railsplitter season openers this weekend over in Bristol. It's coming up next here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
In 1982, Dixie Roofing Incorporated of La Follette has been the industry's leader in commercial roofing throughout Knoxville, Tennessee and surrounding counties for more than 30 years. From medical facilities to office buildings and educational institutions, Dixie Roofing has the experience, expertise, equipment, and know-how to handle roofing needs of any commercial structure, big or small. Dixie Roofing is also on the web at www.dixieroofing.com. Dixie Roofing Incorporated.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing.
I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. I'm your host, Rusty Peace, and joining me in studio now, the man, the myth, the legend, the icon of Lincoln Memorial University and South Atlantic Conference basketball. When you look at it, Coach, your tenure throughout the league now is right up there at the top.
Yeah, that just means I'm old. That means I'm old. I came in, and when you're the longest tenured coach, that means you're old. I am a legend, probably in my own mind, so that's at least one area. And I dressed well for the Railsplitter Athletic Report this week. I went full suit, you know, and so I feel good coming in. I thought this was a big formal, make my first appearance a grand one.
You know, we joke about the tenure thing, but in reality, when Coach Schertz came in here years ago, you had guys like John Lenz, who had been in the league forever. Dale Clayton was the head coach of Carson Newman. You had other guys.
Jim Baker, Jim Boone.
Jim Boone. Dave Davis, I think, came in later on. But now all those guys have either retired or moved on to other things. Josh Schertz here for his 8th season of Lincoln Memorial University basketball. And while personally I'm thankful that he's here for another year, I know that many of the other schools and coaches throughout the league probably aren't.
Well, you know, you know, I've always looked at it and come in, and this place has just grown so much in the 8 years that I've been here in terms of the circumstances that surround the program and the product we have to offer at Lincoln Memorial as both an institution and then just from the myopic standpoint, the basketball standpoint. So it's made it into a lot of people can chase a dream job, or you can make the job you have a dream job. I'm fortunate to be at a place where they do everything they can, starting at the top, to make this certainly one of the best jobs in the country, and glad to be here. Glad to be here for year 8. And like I said, besides feeling old and as the veteran of the league, it's great to be at a place in today's day and age. Didn't used to be this way, but staying somewhere for 8 years is a long time in today's world.
You know, back a lot younger, when I was a lot younger, there were two seasons in Kentucky. There was basketball season and basketball recruiting season. And one of the byproducts of your tenure as head coach is the creation of a lot of anticipation for the next season or the recruiting season, et cetera, et cetera. Now, that being said, I mean, you recruited players this year, but you also returned a tremendous base foundation from a year ago. You lost some key players, and that's what every coach goes through. So what I'm getting at here is, you know, for many, many weeks now, I've had people asking me, what do we got coming in this year? What do we got coming in this year? How are we going to be this year? Well, now it's time to talk about all of it.
Yeah, you know, you certainly, it's a unique deal. We have 8 guys back. We'll start what we lost. You know, we lost obviously 2 pros. We lost the player of the year in our conference, All-American point guard, and Lorenzo Ross. You know, we lost Keenan Peterson, who's a pro as well, as an all-conference big. But as you know, being here, we've gone through that, like you said, pretty regularly, losing all-conference players, losing All-Americans, and you can do it through recruiting, and I think we have helped ourselves through recruiting, and you can certainly do it through player development, where internally guys develop and improve and become better players. And so I think that's kind of where we are. You know, we've got 8 guys back of our top 10 scorers, including our leading scorer, Luquan Choice. We added, I think, 3 guys that are new to the fans that we'll see. Guys like Jalen Steele from Mississippi State, certainly I think going to be a major impact guy. Nixon Blanc, who redshirted last year. He's new to the fans, not new to me, but Nixon redshirted as a freshman last year. And then you got a guy like Timmy Taylor from Stanford, Kentucky, who I think our fans will really like. Talented guy and probably the best true point guard on our roster. So excited about those 3. Really gives us 11 that I have comfort playing, and we can go deeper than that with guys like Hunter Spall, Devin Hankins, and some returning guys that Carlee Clemens that'll give us some depth.
If you look at the roster, you're going to see a lot of people on there that maybe whose name he didn't mention, but there will be some red shirts that'll be held back until next year. And I know that you've been in favor of that since you've been here, Coach. It gives them another year to mature. They mature against quality players. They get to learn from those guys out there in practice every day, and in that period of time, they can really take their game to another level, so to speak.
Yeah, I think it's always great. I mean, if you can replace 18 with 23, who wouldn't want to do that? You know, a year at 18 where maybe you're not great, and a year at 23 where you're here for 5 years, you're a grown man, you know, you understand the system. So redshirting guys is huge, and you see it just in our program. Look at Luquan Choi. It's much better to have him with 2 years left than 1. Jarrell Simmons is a 5th-year senior, so great to have him back. Nixon Blanc's a guy you'll see who got diametrically better over his redshirt year. He'll play a major role for us, and having him for 4 more is a nice deal. So, you know, I think redshirting, getting guys, letting them acclimate, understand what we do, how we do it, and just a chance to kind of get stronger and play without that pressure. Having to perform that first year is a luxury we've had over the past few years. And as long as we continue to recruit well, it's something that hopefully will continue, because I think that's been a big part of our ability to sustain success, is have guys internally inside of our program.
I think the recruiting now is a lot like it is, not quite to the magnitude it is for Kentucky, but the success of the Wildcats, the success of John Calipari has helped him recruit the nation's elite players. For you, it does something similar in that you're now getting the players that are available to the lower mid-major Division I's, the Division II's, and you're getting the best, I think the best of the best. With all that said, let's move on ahead and talk about the upcoming weekend. I mean, we could talk basketball. We did it the other night on Monday night for a solid hour and had much more we could have talked about. But you've got a huge, huge weekend coming up. Obviously, you're going to open up with King. They're a team that's been successful since George Pitts took over the reins. You're going to play your second game on Saturday. That'll be against Lees McRae. That's a noon tip-off, 7:30 on Friday. But if we don't have the schedule to look at, but if you look down the schedule, it is absolutely brutal, and you've added even more strength to that with the addition of a matchup against Bellarmine in Louisville on January 2nd.
Schedule is unbelievable. We'll have one of the best schedules in the country. Like you said, kicks off this weekend, play a nationally ranked King team. They're right in the receiving votes, right outside the top 25, and it was going to be a very hostile environment. Very good team. We'll have to be perform at a very high level to have a chance to be successful there. Turn right around, play a Lees McRae team coming off a school record, 15 wins. We get Hiawassee here, then followed it up with Carson Newman, who's right outside the top 25 in our first conference game. As you said, added Bellarmine there over the Christmas break. So we'll have one of the top schedules in the country, which is great. Now you just got to go win some of those games. You have to perform at a really high level to have a chance. You like to be able to play your way into the season. Unfortunately, we don't have that luxury. When it tips off tomorrow night, we'll have to be very, very good to have a chance to have success.
Well, without a doubt. I mean, this is the toughest start in terms of the schedule. You got Carson Newman early. You've got, as you said, King to open up. Bellarmine before we really make the turn into the heavy part of the conference schedule. And then you look at all those teams that return everybody. Catawba, they've got about everybody back. Carson Newman, as we said. Queens. Dave Davis is going to have a house full down there. You know that.
Yeah.
Just an unbelievably brutal schedule.
Yeah, well, you look at it, and I know we got to go, but 3 nationally ranked teams in the SAC to start the year. You had Bellarmine and King are nationally ranked. The schedule will be as good as anybody in the nation. Relentless, game after game. We'll have to be very, very good to navigate this, and looking forward to the challenge. Gets kicked off tomorrow night.
Well, Josh, we want to wish you the best of luck this weekend. I know that LMU fans have anticipated this date for a long, long time. I'm one of them. Looking forward to heading over to Bristol and enjoying some of that city hospitality, and of course, hopefully we'll be able to go over there and take care of business against George Pitts and the Tornado.
Looking forward to the challenge. See you on Friday night. Hopefully see a bunch of our fans there with a close proximity.
All right. Again, tip-off slated for 7:30. I'll have pregame coverage beginning at 7:10 on the LMU Sports Network. That's WLMU 91.3 FM. Or you can catch us online through the LMU Athletics website at www.lmurailsplitters.com. Click on the men's basketball portion on their schedule page and then go to the audio or game link, and we'll have all the broadcast. We'll be back right after this.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Join the Vive Broadband TV revolution. Vive gives you the freedom to choose with loads of new channels like Up TV, The Hub, The Blaze, and Cubo. Vive's Watch TV Everywhere feature gives you the freedom to watch participating channels just about anywhere, anytime, on any device. And Vive Broadband Speed gives you the freedom to power internet TV services like Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, and Google Chromecast. Join the TV revolution at vivebroadband.com.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. And you get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
Special thanks to Josh Schertz for joining us on the show tonight. We want to wish he and his Railsplitters the best of luck in their season openers this coming weekend. Folks, also want to remind you that all the fall sports are now complete. Volleyball, well, I beg your pardon, volleyball's still in action, and they're playing for the final time of the regular season Friday evening, but they have already assured themselves a spot in the upcoming South Atlantic Conference tournament. Now, again, as to whether they finish 4th, 5th, or 6th, that's still in question. If you look at the way things could play out, I think whether they finish 4th or 5th is irrelevant. I think they're going to wind up playing the same team if that happens, but very good possibility that they could take 4th or 5th. They're right now in the 6th spot, so best of luck to Jenny Michael and her squad against Mars Hill tomorrow night. And obviously next week we'll have their results on the show, as well as a look into the upcoming SAC tournament. For Helio Dana and his soccer teams, they're done for the 2015 season, and now he looks to go into the recruiting process for next year. And as for Jeremy Donahue and his teams, well, while the cross-country teams are done, it's now time to talk about the upcoming track and field season, and we'll have a lot to talk about when that comes around in the springtime. To keep up to date on all that's going on with LMU Athletics, pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com, and you'll find out everything you want to know about LMU Athletics. Until next week, I'm Rusty Peace. Good night, everybody.